What's up everyone? Welcome back to the Worldwide Guide. I just spent 2 weeks traveling across the incredible island country of New Zealand. And if you're looking for a place that has it all, New Zealand comes pretty close. From the lush rolling green hills and geothermal wonders of the North Island, to the rugged mountains and towering fjords of the South Island. It's almost unbelievable that such a compact land can contain so much diverse beauty. Now come with me as we explore the best places to visit in New Zealand. To truly appreciate what makes this country so special, it helps to understand the history that shaped it long before it became a modern travel destination. The first people to arrive were the Māori, who sailed here from East Polynesia around the 13th century. They named this volcanic land Aotearoa and built a culture deeply connected to the land and sea, leaving behind traditions that are still celebrated today. European explorers later mapped the islands, and in 1840 the Treaty of Waitangi established British colonial rule, setting the stage for the New Zealand we know now, a progressive, multicultural nation where Maori heritage and European influence combined to shape its unique identity. Our journey begins on the North Island, in Auckland, New Zealand's largest city. Known as the City of Sails, it has 2 harbors and dozens of volcanic cones that have shaped its history. Long before Europeans arrived, Maori iwi, or tribes, settled here, using the fertile volcanic soil for gardens and building fortified pa villages on the hills. The most notable volcanic cone is Mount Eden, Auckland's highest natural point at 196 meters or 643 feet. It last erupted 15,000 years ago, leaving behind a huge grassy crater 50 meters deep. The crater is sacred to the Maori, and the summit is one of the best viewpoints of the city, offering sweeping vistas of Auckland CBD, the harbors, and the Sky Tower, Auckland's most iconic modern landmark, standing 328 meters or 1,076 feet tall, making it the tallest freestanding structure in the Southern Hemisphere. The Sky Tower also offers 360-degree views over all of Auckland's neighborhoods. The CBD, or Central Business District, is the busiest and most modern part of the city, filled with high-rises and shopping centers. Ponsonby, which is the trendy part of town, is known for its boutique shops, art galleries, and an incredible dining and bar scene. And then there's Parnell, which is Auckland's oldest suburb and features the Auckland War Memorial Museum, with galleries covering natural history, Pacific people culture, and warfare memorials. With a nice blend of city and nature, Auckland is the perfect place to start your New Zealand adventure. Now let's head back to the CBD and catch a ferry to our next destination. Waiheke Island is just a 40-minute ferry ride from Auckland and is one of the most prominent wine regions in the country. With over 30 vineyards, the island is famous for its award-winning Syrah and red blends. I booked a tour with a local guide, and she took us to 3 different wineries and a restaurant for lunch that made for a beautiful day that you will love if you're into wine. At spots like Mudbrick and Cable Bay, in addition to sipping fine wine with an experienced sommelier, you're also able to take in sweeping views back toward Auckland. Beyond the wine, Waiheke also offers long stretches of beach, perfect for swimming and seaside walks. If you're an adventure seeker, you can also go ziplining, paddleboarding, or hiking along coastal trails with incredible ocean views. It's the perfect mix of natural beauty, luxury, and island charm. Now, to experience all that New Zealand has to offer, I highly recommend renting a car. Flying from city to city is an option, but you won't be able to experience some of the truly incredible destinations here if you don't rent a car. And driving on the other side of the road took some adjusting, but I got used to it after a few days, and I'm sure you will too. So heading south a little over 2 hours from Auckland, we arrive at the Waitomo Glowworm Caves, one of the most breathtaking natural wonders in New Zealand. Formed over millions of years as underground rivers carved their way through limestone, these caves are filled with towering stalactites, stalagmites, and glowworms. These are Arachnocampa luminosa glowworms, found only in New Zealand. And what's happening here is that these tiny creatures emit a blue-green light to attract insects into their silk threads, which are what you see hanging from the ceiling of the cave. When viewed in darkness, thousands of glowworms illuminate the cave ceilings, creating the illusion of a starry night sky underground. It's breathtaking and surreal. What made our tour even more special is that our guide is a descendant of the Ngāti Maniapoto people, who were the only ones who knew of these caves for generations. He was super knowledgeable about the land and told us so many interesting facts throughout the tour. First, we took a short boat ride on the underground river through the spellbound Glowworm Cave. Then we took a fascinating stroll through the Cave of the Spirit. But however you explore, the Waitomo Glowworm Caves feel like stepping into another world. It was truly unforgettable, and I can't recommend it enough. Next up is Rotorua, renowned for its geothermal activity and Maori culture. Just 2.5 hours from Auckland, Rotorua sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, which makes it one of the world's most active geothermal areas. The landscape is alive with steaming geysers, bubbling mud pools, and colorful hot springs. The most famous is Pohutu Geyser in Tepuia, which erupts up to 20 times a day, shooting boiling water nearly 30 meters into the air. And Waitomo Thermal Wonderland showcases surreal rainbow-colored pools and sulfur-rich craters. It seriously feels like you're in another world. And just a heads up that the sulfur does make the area smell like rotten eggs, so maybe wear a face mask if you're sensitive to smell. Rotorua is also one of the best places in New Zealand to experience Maori traditions. Local iwi have lived here for centuries, using the geothermal heat for cooking, bathing, and healing. Today you can take part in cultural experiences, witness the haka, and enjoy a hangi feast, where food is slow-cooked underground using heated stones. I even went to the Polynesian Spa, where you can relax in geothermal hot springs and mineral pools while soaking in views of Lake Rotorua. The hot springs are especially enjoyable after a long hike in the Waka Rewa Rewa forest on the outskirts of town that's filled with giant redwood trees. Rotorua is a place where nature and culture come together to form a place unlike anywhere else in New Zealand. Leaving the North Island, we now head to the mountainous and arguably more scenic South Island. Our first stop is Lake Tekapo, famous for its striking turquoise color. Surrounded by mountains and fields of lupins that bloom in summer, the area has long been a place of significance, used by Maori as a seasonal food gathering site. Today, the most famous landmark here is the Church of the Good Shepherd, which was built in 1935 and is one of the most photographed landmarks in the country. This area is also part of a dark sky reserve, offering some of the best stargazing in the world. And I would definitely recommend hanging around here until nighttime to get some incredible shots of the church with millions of stars overhead. This part of the country is also famous for incredibly beautiful hikes, and in Lake Tekapo, you can do the Mount John Summit Track, which takes you along the western shore of the lake and is just stunning. At the summit, you can even visit the Mount John Observatory and stargaze inside the world-renowned Astronomical Research Center. So whether you're photographing the Church of the Good Shepherd or gazing up at the Milky Way, Tekapo offers beauty in every direction. Just a little over an hour from Lake Tekapo is Aoraki, or Mount Cook, which at 3,724 meters, or 12,218 feet, is New Zealand's tallest peak, and our first stop in the Southern Alps, New Zealand's most famous mountain range, stretching about 500 kilometers, or 310 miles. In Maori legend, Aoraki is seen as a sacred ancestor, formed when the demigod Aoraki and his brother's canoe overturned and turned to stone, creating the South Island and its towering peaks. The alpine landscape is filled with glaciers like Tasman Glacier, New Zealand's largest glacier, stretching 4 kilometers wide and more than 600 meters thick in some places, plus ice fields and rugged mountain scenery. Hiking trails like the Hooker Valley Track offer breathtaking views, while mountaineers from around the world come to climb here. I'm no mountaineer, but I did trek up both the Sealy Tarns and Kea Point trails, and was rewarded with stunning views of Mueller Lake's turquoise water and Aoraki Peak. So whether you come for the hikes, the glaciers, or the stories of Aoraki, Mount Cook leaves a lasting impression of New Zealand at its most awe-inspiring. Heading 2.5 hours south, we arrive in Wanaka, arguably my favorite stop on my entire trip. Wanaka is a relaxed lakeside town that rivals Queenstown for beauty, but with a much quieter atmosphere. It's known for its charming cafes, boutique shops, and strong community feel. The most famous landmark here is that Wanaka tree, a lone willow growing out of the lake near the shore. But the real reason to visit Wanaka is for Roy's Peak, the most challenging but rewarding hike I've ever done in my life. I'm not kidding when I say it's challenging. The entire track is about 10 miles long, and the elevation gain is over 4,200 feet, so you're basically walking up the mountain at a 45% grade the entire hike, which makes for a fantastic leg workout. One really cool part about this hike is that there are sheep and cows on the mountain the entire way up. They say there are over 23 million sheep in New Zealand, and it felt like half of them were here. They were just everywhere. Once you reach the summit, you're rewarded with the most incredible views. In person, it was one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen, with panoramic views over Lake Wanaka and the snow-capped Southern Alps. Roy's Peak alone is reason enough to visit New Zealand, and with the quaint charm of Wanaka nearby, I'm sure it'll be one of your favorite stops in the country too. From one incredible view to another, we now visit Milford Sound, the crown jewel of New Zealand's Fiordland National Park. Considered the 8th natural wonder of the world by many, the fjord is famous for its towering cliffs, rainforest-clad peaks, and spectacular waterfalls like Stirling Falls and Bowen Falls. It's also one of the wettest places on Earth, receiving over 250 days of rain each year. But this only adds to the beauty, with temporary waterfalls cascading down the cliffs after storms. Dolphins, seals, and even penguins are regular visitors to the waters, and on rare occasions you might even spot whales. It's about a 12-hour day to visit Milford if you head out from Queenstown like me, and if you do a bus tour, you'll first drive through Teanau, which is the gateway town to the national park. From Teanau, you'll be greeted with some incredible views on the way to Milford that definitely helps pass the time. And then once you've reached the fjord, you'll hop on a boat and cruise through the stunning scenery. This is absolutely a bucket list item if you ever visit New Zealand, and even though it's hard to get to, it's worth it to experience such a raw, extraordinary landscape. The last stop on our journey is Queenstown, famous worldwide as the adventure capital of the world. It's the birthplace of commercial bungee jumping, and still offers thrill seekers everything from jet boating and skydiving to skiing and mountain biking. When I visited, I did the Skyline Luge and spent a day at Cardrona Alpine Resort, which is just a little over an hour from Queenstown, to do some snowboarding. Cardrona is considered one of the best ski resorts in New Zealand, and it was a great day on the slopes. If you're not an adrenaline junkie, Queenstown also has a thriving food and wine scene, with vineyards in nearby Gippsland Valley producing award-winning wines. And scenic cruises on Lake Wakatipu, luxury lodges, and lively nightlife give Queenstown a cosmopolitan edge while still being surrounded by breathtaking alpine landscapes. Whether you're chasing thrills or simply soaking in the views from the gondola, Queenstown offers a little bit of everything and is one of New Zealand's most unforgettable destinations. With its spectacular scenery and blend of European and Maori culture, New Zealand is truly one of a kind. Visiting this incredible country has been transformative for me, and I know its beauty and spirit will leave a lasting legacy on your life as well. Now, if you've made it this far, make sure to shoot me a like and subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment about where you would like to visit in New Zealand first. Thanks a lot for watching, and safe travels.